Hey guys, Sydney here, and today I am going to show you how to take your carpets from this to this. Today we are going to be using the P&S Carpet System, and we're actually going to be using 4 products today, but we'll get into that once we get started. And then I just have a couple tools that are going to help me. I have a brush, I have a drill brush, and then some towels. So I'm going to show you how to get a really good result just using some simple basic tools. And then at the end, I'm going to show you how to kick it up a notch, but we'll get there. Let's look at these mats together. So this was what I kind of started with. I did a test spot just to figure out where I was going to end up. So as you can see, these mats are old and dirty. They've got lots of coffee and dirt all ground in. So this one we're going to set aside because I want to start on a freshly dirty one, which this one we can see has lots of discoloration, maybe some grease, some brown stains down here. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and then we'll finish with this one. So let's get started. Like I mentioned, we have the 3-part system, but I've actually thrown in a 4th product that is going to help give us a good base. So I'm going to use Release Vacuum Aid. This is just a product that's going to help loosen up the dirt, dog hair, anything like that. I have found that this helps me get a better result when I'm cleaning carpets because I make sure I get all of the embedded dirt and dog hair out, and then I'm not scrubbing that in and maybe transferring some of that dirt to the carpet. So I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to spray just 2 sprays of this, then I'm going to grab my vacuum and get that all nice and vacuumed. Got that vacuumed out. One other benefit of the release that I really like is it also has an odor neutralizer in it. So it's also going to start kind of that odor breakdown, which is great. Next up, we have step number 1. So this is Terminator. This is an enzyme-based product. So this is going to start breaking down the stain. So when we think about organic stains, food, coffee, pet stains, things like this is going to start those stains breaking down, where then when we get to the surfactant part, it actually helps remove the stain. So very vital that you use all 3 products in this system. Now, super easy. We are just going to spray. You don't need a lot of product. So just, a good amount that is going to get across the surface, but you don't need to flood the surface with it. So I've covered that. For this step, if I'm cleaning by hand, I like to use the hand brush on this part, and then I use the drill brush for the next step. So all I'm looking for here is just to get that Terminator worked down into the fibers of the carpet is all we're really looking for. We're not looking to get stain removal on this step. So I'm just going to get that worked in. Now, the crazy part about this product is it does do a really great job. If we look at this, we've already made some headway. So very cool. So I do that part by hand with a hand brush, and then I'm going to grab step number 2, which is Carpet Bomber. Now, this is going to do the work. So this is a surfactant-based citrus cleaner that is going to, now we're going to remove the stain. So we've given the Terminator time to start breaking up the stain. Now we're just going to go in to attack the stains. So again, couple sprays per area. You don't need a ton of product. That's kind of the beauty in this system. Now for this part, I'm going to use the drill brush. Again, if you don't have a drill brush, you can use the regular hand brush again, no problem. I like to use the drill brush on this because it does so much work and it saves my hand. So it's just a really good tool to have. We'll just do a couple passes over that, and already this mat looks so much better. But if you can see, I've got a little bit of this black mark left, so you can always go back over this step again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to isolate my Carpet Bomber in the areas where I have some extra staining. And the reason I do this is because we know we don't need to introduce a ton of moisture. We don't need to introduce a ton of chemical. So by doing that first pass, I know where my trouble spots are. And then I can go back and focus on those spots specifically. All right, this is looking really good without even wiping it. But now at this point, I'm gonna grab a towel and I'm gonna do the little fold in half method. And now I'm just going to remove as much of these products with this towel. And this is going to bring up those stains into the towel, out of the carpet. Now, some people like to just flood the carpets with an extractor and extractor soap, and I'll tell you that's just not the greatest way. It puts a lot of moisture in the carpets and or the fabric seats, which we really want to try to avoid. And I think the thing that I love about this system is we can do so much work without all the crazy heavy tools and putting a bunch of moisture in them. So as we can see, towel, there's all that dirt out of the carpet, and this looks so much better. Now, at this point, we could keep scrubbing on it if we felt like it. It looks pretty good to me, so we would go to now step 3, which is the finisher. This is going to be a peroxide treatment. So this is going to do a couple different things. One, it's going to help the surface dry faster. It's also going to neutralize any odors that remain, and it's going to neutralize all the chemicals that we used, which this is an important feature because we want to make sure that we're not having wicking. So that is where moisture from below pulls dirt that is way down deep in the fibers. It pulls it back up to the surface as it dries. So this will prevent that. It will also neutralize those chemicals so that the dirt off of our shoes is not pulled on to the soap. So if you think about now there's soap on this surface, it is going to clean the bottom of your shoes as you keep getting in and out of your car, and your carpets are gonna get dirty right away again. This is gonna neutralize everything and just give us that nice finish. It's also going to help brighten the material, which is really nice. Finisher, now essentially this carpet could be done. And I think we can all see that that's a really good result. If you're doing your own carpets at home or you're running like a mobile business where you can't have all the big tools, this is a really good result, and these carpets were really dirty. Now that we're at this point, if you want to kick it up a notch, one thing that is kind of a favorite amongst detailers is using a steamer. So let's talk about that. After we do the carpet bomber, we could choose to use an extractor, but personally, I recommend only using an extractor as a dry extract method. So if this were me in my shop, I would use a rinseless wash. I would spray this surface again, and then I would just use my extractor as a dry extract and kind of suck up that dirt and everything out of the surface. So my most favorite thing is to use a steamer. I just have a very basic steamer here. Steamers can range in quality. I find that these ones are just fine. So this is just a very basic steamer. What I'm looking for here is obviously the steam, but the triangle brush. This is going to continue to break down the stain, and it's also going to steam and refresh those carpets. So when you need a little bit extra cleaning power, this is a really good solution. And since with steam, it's not really adding any additional moisture to the carpet. So I'm gonna show you this real quick and we'll see how much more we get out. So we go over it a couple times with the steamer. I'm gonna take another towel and kind of rub out the rest of those stains. The nice thing about the steamer on this one was that black chunk of grease or whatever it was, it kind of helped break it completely away from the surface. So sometimes you just want that little bit extra to make them perfect. All right, so see, we still get out a ton of dirt, which is nice, and it looks fabulous. So at this point, if I did use the steamer, I would do the Terminator, the bomber, then I would use the steamer and go back over it with the finisher. So I'm gonna hit this with the finisher one more time, just for good measure. And there we go. So if we look at where we started to this, that's a pretty good result for what you can get at home or in your detail shop. We have one more dirty mat to clean, so enjoy the satisfying before and after. I hope this video helped you learn a little bit more about cleaning your own carpets using a few simple tools and what I'm gonna call the 4-part P&S carpet system. Now, as you can see, we got some pretty great results on this large mat that was super dirty. And just as a reminder, this is where we started, this is where we ended up. So I will go ahead and finish this off camera. If you have any questions, please leave them in a comment below. All these products are linked for you below. And as always, for more tips and tricks, stay tuned right here at the Rag Company YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one.